rolling?
Mm-hmm.
This is Jubilee. You might recognize her from some of my videos. She's trying to nap right now, so we're just gonna like not be too loud or whatever. I don't know. But
I thought you were going to introduce the video.
Oh yeah, sorry.
What are you doing?
My name's Davis, and this video is about records. Here's 5 records I love and why. First record I wanted to pick is Washed Out, PARACOSM. This record is just a banger from start to finish. It's super vibey. The best way I could describe it is it sounds really tropical.
Yeah, there's even like birds in it, right?
Yeah, there's like birds chirping in the music, and like, I don't know, it feels like a really good like spring day, you know, like, I don't know, like a perfect spring day. Yeah, Washed Out is like a great like background music kind of band, and but in a good way. You know, usually like when you think background music, you think like, okay, that just means they're not like good enough, you know,
yeah,
to
like
get
the
your
music
attention.
here at Target.
Yeah, at Target, right? But you know, this is like good background music. You put this on and you feel like you want to make yourself like a Dole Whip or something, or like you know, you want to just go outside and sit in the grass. Anyway, Washed Out. This is a banger.
Awesome.
I love this.
The album artwork is super cool.
It's super cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Another one, totally different genre, totally different vibe, is Nick Cave. Boatman's Call. Nick Cave is he's one of my biggest like inspirations. He's an amazing songwriter, amazing lyricist, and he's been around forever, since the 80s, but this album is just so well written and so like, just from a songwriting point of view, it's so good. Like the songs are just like amazing from start to finish. It's mostly slow, kind of like ballady kind of songs, but it just, when songs are, even if they're slow, if they're that good, then you just want to put it on and kind of like really vibe out to it. My favorite song is called People Ain't No Good. And then it has another song called Into My Arms, which
That's
is
my favorite song.
That's your favorite
Sorry.
song, right?
Yeah.
And those are, I mean, they're just amazing. Like it's kind of a tearjerker, right? Like it'll make you kind of introspective, but in a good way. Sometimes you need music to kind of speak to the kind of darker, sadder part of your soul. But I don't know, man. It's just so good. It's comforting. Next one is like, this is kind of an evening album. I like putting this on at night. It's the artist is Karen O and Danger Mouse, and the album's called Lux Prima. So if you don't know what Karen O is, she's the singer of a band called the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, who's an amazing like rock and roll band, early 2000s, New York. She collaborated with one of my favorite producers named Danger Mouse, and if you don't know Danger Mouse, he produced Gorillaz, had a large hand in them, and he's worked on a lot of big albums like Black Keys. He's kind of like the missing member of the Black Keys.
Didn't he get famous because of something with like Jay-Z or
Yeah.
the Beatles or something?
Yeah, so Danger Mouse got on the map, the producer, because he put out a record called The Grey Album, and it was a remix. It was like he smashed Jay-Z's Black Album with the Beatles' White Album, and so it became the Grey Album.
That's so cool.
Which was super cool. It was like,
I don't think I ever listened to it. Is it good or is it just crazy?
at the time it was pretty like revolutionary. Like no one had smashed those two worlds together, like the Beatles and hip hop. No one had done it. There's some cool moments on it for sure, but I think it was just the shock of like doing that. And he did it and he released it like illegally, so he got in a lot of like legal trouble.
Yeah, those are some pretty big artists to just steal stuff.
Yeah, he didn't like ask permission from Jay-Z or the Beatles.
Oh my god.
But I don't know, the story behind it, I happen to know it, but it's like, anyway, he put out the album, he got in trouble, and then it wasn't until Damon Albarn from Gorillaz heard about him getting in trouble and was like, told the record label, hey, don't sue him, sign him. Then we'll work together on the Gorillaz album. Danger Mouse is a legend. Karen O's a legend. They put out this album, and we saw it in person. They did a concert kind of at that art gallery in LA.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know, it's super vibey. It's kind of like 60s sounding, but with like, you know, break beats.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Just, it's a good record at night to kind of just chill out and vibe to. Stuff like that's like up-tempo, like Led Zeppelin or, you know, Queens of the Stone Age, that to me is like perfect for like the car when you're driving.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just want to drive fast and, you know, feel like rock and roll. But at home, I just like to vibe.
Yeah.
So, this one's pretty vibey. This is Leonard Cohen, and this is a greatest hits album. I have many Leonard Cohen albums, but I've listened to the greatest hits the most because it's like, not only is it all bangers, like all the songs are great. I can just put it on. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to like, I can be as active when I listen to it or not. Like it can kind of settle in the background, but it can also like catch my attention. You know, sometimes with greatest hits, like they don't always pick the best tracks, but this one they did. And he's a legend, amazing songwriter.
Do you have a favorite song on this one?
Suzanne, probably.
Yeah.
Suzanne, that's like the first song on the album. Really well written, really cool. I feel like he sings all about like people and characters that I feel like I've met, you know, or anyone, like when you're like in your life, you feel like you've met these people.
Yeah.
Like Suzanne is the type of person who's totally like a, almost kind of like a drifter, like party animal, you know, who's like, you meet just like somewhere, you could meet him at college or you can meet him like, you know, at a party, but they're just like, they seem so free-spirited and just like wild, but there's like a dark side to that too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like
you can't get too close to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, yeah, if you've ever been to a party and you meet someone and you're like, wow, this person just seems so free, like they're like uninhibited, they're just like, they're not tied down to anything.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like realize eventually like, oh, they're kind of sketchy. Like, you know, like they're not tied down to anything.
What's wrong with this person?
Yeah. That's Suzanne. But no, Leonard Cohen's just, I mean, he's just one of the best songwriters of all time. Again, vibey, acoustic based, not like up tempo, but definitely something you could just put on and like chill out to. Laying on the couch, like I usually want to like chill out, you know? It's kind of hard to lay on the couch and like, I don't know, put on, you know, like...
I don't know why all I can think of is Megadeth.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
like not something you even listen to.
Yeah, totally. It's hard to just chill out to Megadeth on the couch. So the last album, that's like one of the 5 records I love is Exodus by Bob Marley. This is like the staple. Like, if you're building a record collection, have this for sure. This is one of the best albums of all time.
You put that album on all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, like
I sound annoyed, but I'm not. It's really good. But
yeah. Like once a day, almost.
Yeah, like once a day. And sometimes if we're in the car. Oh my God, yeah, the other day, we had Bob Marley, like a Bob Marley CD on in my car.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, can I put something else on? And you literally like connected to Bluetooth, got Spotify open, and put on a different Bob Marley, and it was this record.
It was this record, yeah.
So, yeah.
No, this record, it's like, dude, I've said it before, like, you can put this album on in the morning, in the evening, you can put it on, like, if you want to have a party, or you can put it on, like, if you're, like, your parents are coming over and you're, like, nervous, you know what I mean? Just to, like, ease the tension.
Jeez.
No. You can put it on, like, if someone's coming over and you don't even know what they listen to, like, odds are they're going to agree on this. It's like, he's just one of those artists that, like, everyone can agree, and it's, like, it's not too slow, not too fast. It's just like right in the middle. It's the perfect, I mean, it's one of the most, it's like one of the best albums of all time. It's a perfect record. Sonically, it's amazing. The production's so good and the songwriting's great.
Do you have a favorite song on this one?
Probably Exodus.
Makes sense.
Which is weird because Exodus is like, the way it sounds isn't typical reggae music. Mm-hmm. It's more aggressive than Bob Marley's known for, but like, it's really cool. It was the first song like that got me into Bob Marley. It's the reason I wanted to buy this album was Exodus. And like the song's great, the message is great. It's just like it's like a little more up tempo and it's like more drum based, but you know, once you start breaking it down and you got like Natural Mystic as well, like on this album, like then it's a done deal. Just to recap quickly, we had Washed Out, Nick Cave, Karen O, Danger Mouse, Leonard Cohen, and Bob Marley.
Yeah.
5 bangers. Thank you for listening to me talk, but go listen to them instead.